You can hear me?
I can indeed. Thank you very much.
Okay, perfect.
How are you
Sorry,
doing?
I'm in my car.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine. I get it. You're a busy woman.
Yeah, it's our first table read of the season.
That is terribly exciting.
Yeah. Uh-oh. There we are. All right. Oh,
Well, first of all, thanks for joining. I know
oh, thanks for having me.
you're clearly very busy. Congratulations on the success of this show and on the
Thank
second
you.
season pickup.
Thank you. Yeah, we're very, very grateful. Believe me.
I understand that you got the script for St. Denis right on the heels of Goldberg's being canceled. Is that correct?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like like 4 hours later. I
Oh wow!
guess,
So wow! So wow!
yeah, literally the same day. So I was like, yeah, I'll read it, but I don't know. I'm just not in the headspace of being able to, really concentrate right now. But I read it and I thought, God, this Joyce is kind of an oddball, and I think I love her. Let's get into it a little bit and find out more. And I just found her irresistible. And listen, I'm lucky that that came my way when it did, because
Sure.
I would have gone insane. But yeah.
Joyce is very different from some of the other characters that you're known for portraying, at least.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the part of what drew you to the character?
100%. Yeah, 100%. Um, the thing I loved about her is that, unlike the smother mom that I had been playing for 10 years, like this person is not cuddly whatsoever. Don't touch her with your germs, you know. She has no kids. She has all fake plants, all stuffed animals, because she likes to, cuddle on something, but she can't pay attention to it for very long. So, she's never home,
Right.
hardly. So, yeah, so that was kind of irresistible to me. Like, oh, something completely different than what I've done. Let's launch into this and really see what I can do with it.
Are you able to find any parallels between Joyce and yourself?
Um, yeah, the thing with Joyce and the thing with me is that we see things and we want to make them better, but we have very unrealistic expectations.
Okay.
Okay. Very unrealistic expectations. Like, I'm someone who will look at my bathroom and say, well, I could remodel this in about 3 hours. No, that's insane. And Joyce looks at this hospital and says, if I could make this a destination facility for medical care, people won't be flying to Turkey anymore or Mexico. They're going to come here to rural Oregon. No, they're
You
not.
the season finished on a high note for Joyce in the
Mm-hmm.
hospital, which was nice.
Yeah.
Had you finished filming the first season when you got picked up for season two?
No, we hadn't. I'm sorry. Yes, we had. We had finished. We had finished. And it looked like it was going that way, but hey, you never know
Right.
in this business. It's very, very fickle. So,
NBC was
yeah,
not kind to some of the shows this season, so
that is true. That is
yes,
true.
so
So, we were very, very relieved to be picked up. And you know, yeah, that's all I can say about that.
because the
Very
season
relieved.
ended. I mean, like I said, it was a high note, and it could have really, if the show ended as it was, it would have been a nice time, wrap up
Yeah.
tie the bow. But instead, it seems like it's launching into, and you'll tell me, you'll know that later on today,
Hmm.
what the next phase for season two is for the hospital, because it seems as if there might be some changes.
There are going to be some changes, because in one of our last episodes, we did get a big influx of cash. We got a big donor. And then in the very final episode, Joyce overspent
Okay.
that $10 million and had to, start breaking promises. So today, I guess I'm going to find out where all that money went and what we actually did do with it. But the great thing about setting it in a hospital is that there's no end of stories to tell.
Right.
And we're all going to be in the hospital at some point, unfortunately.
What are you hoping to see out of Joyce in season two?
I'd like to see Joyce have some kind of a small win, just anything. I would love Joyce to be proven right about anything, just so we can see her handle that badly. Because I think if she won for any reason, she would become more insufferable than she already is. Like I think her saying "I told you so" that's an understatement,
Right.
you know, which would be hilarious to play. But yeah, so I would love to see that. I personally would love to see the backstory between her and Ron, because we do say that she and Dr. Ron were interns at the same time. So if we ever do a flashback episode, I hope we go back to the 90s and watch Joyce and Dr. Ron working alongside each other.
I saw David Angler has said that it's possible they may have dated at some point.
It is possible, and I want to know what that looked like in
Can you
graphic
talk,
detail.
can you talk about working in the documentary format?
Yeah, it's something I've done before, but with this one, we were encouraged to watch the show Lenox Hill on Netflix. And it's about a hospital, and it's got really frantic camera work, and we're trying to do that on this show, and I'm glad they had us watch it because it is a little different. It is a little different, because the whip pan, it really is like nauseating to a degree, but it shows you the jokes that are happening between the words.
Sure.
And so I think that's important. And I think that works for a workplace comedy because there's so much that happens with just someone looking and rolling their eyes at what's being said, or the people that you're not necessarily paying attention to when you're the speaker, but that's where a lot of the comedy comes from. So yeah, it's interesting. It still feels a little odd to work that way because when we did Reno, we all wore mics that you could see, and that was more like cops, like you're in on the joke. With this show, we're not sure who these documentarians are yet and why we're doing this. I'm assuming it's because Joyce thought, oh, well, we could sell this footage to somewhere and, use it in the hospital. I don't know. But yeah, it's interesting. It feels odd to just acknowledge the camera sometimes.
I was speaking with David Allen Greer about the fact that the show is it's basically a giant HIPAA violation.
Yes.
And he said, but as long as we have Joyce, she'll blow that off.
Yeah, yeah. HIPAA schmippa. Right. We're not using names.
How do you think Joyce would think how would she feel about how she was portrayed in the documentary?
I think she would say, wait, is that what I look like? Well, we need to get some better lighting around here. I don't think this is showing my whimsical side. But in reality, that's exactly how she is. Right. I mean, that's how everybody talks when they see themselves on a mockumentary or a documentary. Right. Oh, no, I don't remember saying that. It's like, well, the cameras caught it, so you definitely did. And you are exactly as advertised. No one's, don't blame the editor.
Can you talk about working with Eric and Justin?
Oh, what a pleasure. What a pleasure. Because when your showrunners and creators and the people at the top like to go home to their families at night, that means you get to go home too. And fair. It is really not always that way. So no, it's been an absolute pleasure to work with them. They're very collaborative, very even keeled, and have small egos about the whole thing. They're just happy to be here too.
That's great.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's awesome.
Well, look, I know you got stuff to do right now. So I'm going to let you go, and I really appreciate you taking time. Again, congratulations, and good luck with season 2.
So good to speak with you today. Thank you so much. Okay.
Take care. Bye-bye now.
Thanks,
Bye.
Jeff.
Thanks.
Hi,
Bye.
Wendy. Bye, Wendy.
Bye.